What's up, Cash Crew? It's KD. We're back again for another week. Vlad, how you feel?
I'm good. We got a good week. Had a lot of good games this week. College football championship, division round playoffs for the NFL. So we got a lot of stuff to touch bases on this week.
And boy, did we have some failures. I mean, big farewell type stuff. So we got to talk about that as well, man. And speaking about farewell, let's just jump into the first thing because we know how big of a fan. If you don't know yet, if this is your first time joining us, we have the biggest Miami Heat and Miami Dolphins sports fans, all about Miami, right? And me. But Vlad is a big Buckeye fan. Vlad, tell us what happened in this game, man.
Well, first of all, I mean, if you did watch the game, everybody knew Ohio State wasn't fully healthy. Justin Fields came in with bruised ribs. Also, we had, some offensive linemen that was dinged up, and then some people on our defense. So we weren't completely healthy. I mean, I don't want to use that as excuses, but we weren't. But we didn't execute the game plan that, again, if you had listened to previous episodes, as I said, number one thing that you had to do playing this high-power Alabama team was to contain them. And we did not do that, especially their number one weapon, Devontae Smith, Mr. Heisman himself. He went off with 3 touchdowns in the first half against us. That cannot happen. So
bad man. He's a bad man.
Yeah, he did a number on us. But at the same time, we did start off well. We got the first turnover on them. We put points on the board, but we didn't keep our foot on the gas. And we too many mistakes, too many missed assignments, and Alabama did what they did. They blew us in the water. They punched us in the mouth. They kept punching, and they blew us out. So.
Bruh, speaking of punching, bruh, this one right here, it definitely, not to bring up bad old news, but damn, this shit looked like, that Nate Robinson fight, dog. I mean, it was bad. It was bad, bro.
It was bad, but it wasn't that bad.
It was bad to the point where I got a little snooze in the middle of the game. Like, it was that boring.
I mean, yeah, it was bad. But I don't know what to say, man. That boy Devontae Smith, he's something. He's different.
Man, listen, he's Miami different. Dolphins.
He's different.
Brian Flores. This is an easy. I don't care if you think, a wide receiver taking him at number 3 would be too high. No, it's not too high. This boy is like that. No, I said boy. He's a grown man. He's like that. Miami, do not make a terrible decision and pass up Devontae Smith. Matter of fact, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but you passed up on another guy who was a free agent in Drew Brees. Don't even get me started. But still, don't make the same mistake.
You're right.
We paid for that. We could have been the ones in the championship when they went the other years, So, anyway, I had to go on a little. Sorry.
But yeah, Sermon got hurt early, so we didn't get the running game going, and then we had to put the game in Fields' hands. So, that means more throwing plays. But Alabama played good. I got to give them no credit. They played well on both ends of the ball. They caused turnovers. They put up points. Well, Devontae Smith put up points on the board. And, they executed their game plan to perfection. And they did what they did, and they blew us out. So I can't lie. They punched us in the mouth. They deserved it. So congrats to the Bama fans. But Ohio State will be back. As always, we're still going to be a powerhouse. It just sucks because I really wanted to see Justin Fields get a ring before he goes to the league. But it's all right. But, I'm proud of my boys. We had a short season, but we'll be back. Guarantee that. We'll be back.
Well, hey, Justin Fields is on to better and, bigger and better things. Got to make a lot of money. And looky here, the Atlanta Falcons are in position if they like to move into the 21st freaking century and get a black quarterback. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on
to these NFL matchups.
Yes, sir. So we had a gang of matchups that were there were some unbelievable things going on. So let's go ahead and start with the first one.
Let's start with Saturdays. So
Saturday. Okay, Saturday's fine.
Let's do Saturdays, which we had Packers Rams, and we also had the
Ravens
Bills. I'll be honest with you guys. So this is Lamar's 3rd playoff season, I believe.
Yep.
This was the worst out of the 3. Lamar didn't play well. I don't think the Ravens as a whole really played that well either. It's about to become that time now. Lamar's very athletic, as we know. He can run the ball, but now he's getting exposed a little bit. This is, this 30 in a row in the playoffs where he's come up short. However, I hope this offseason, him along with whatever player development, trainer, whatever, they really sit down and get his footwork down and his throwing ability down, because as you can see in the playoffs, you can't run all the time. And also they need to cut down on turnovers. You can't keep turning over the ball. So if he wants to take it up to the next level and, advance deep in the playoffs and probably get to some Super Bowls, this year has to be the turnaround year, especially in the offseason. So shout out to the Bills. The Bills played well.
Yes, sir.
And they weren't my pick. I actually picked the Ravens to beat them, but I got to give credit where it's due. The Bills played a well game, and they did their thing.
So now it's gonna be Chiefs, Bills.
Yeah, we're gonna be Chiefs, Bills in the AFC Championship.
If Pat Mahomes can't get back in time, man, it's gonna be tough.
Josh Allen might have a chance.
Yeah, it'll be tough, and that'll be the first time in a long time. I think since the '90s that the Bills have been in the Super Bowl. So that would be really cool.
So the second game of Saturday's matchup we had, which I think was one of the better games this weekend. The number one defense versus number one offense, and of course the matchup everybody was looking for, Devontae Adams versus Jalen Ramsey. That was a game. Wow. And of course, if you're new, again, let me reiterate this, and I've said this previous times in other episodes, my favorite quarterback in the league right now until he retires and then Patrick Mahomes will take over. But right now, Mr. The bad man, Aaron Rodgers played he was a magician out there.
He was surgical.
Man,
it looked like he was out there doing surgery for sure.
Man, he carved up the Rams, the number one defense in the league. And this is what I was saying for the longest is, if there's anybody in the league who can do this, it's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, probably Pat Mahomes too, but Aaron Rodgers played, I know there's nothing that's perfect, but almost a perfect game against the number one defense. And it looking scary. And I have to give it to the Packers defense. The defense stepped up too. It's not just the offense. But that Packers defense, they put a lot of pressure on Jared Goff. They didn't let the running game get going, and they limited the Rams offense, and then they gave Aaron Rodgers a couple of chances where he had good field advantage. But man, if Aaron Rodgers played like that next weekend, well, I already got him in the Super Bowl, but if he plays like that next weekend, yeah.
We'll talk about that one in a second.
Book that ticket.
But you got to say, it's Aaron Rodgers. At this point, I'm not surprised about anything that he does. This time I was just a little bit surprised because we thought the Rams could show up a little bit better. I mean, Aaron Donald, they're supposed to be number one defense. But then again, this is not the NBA. We know they say defense wins championships, but what you really see with the rule changes and offenses having a kind of an upper hand, defenses being limited to what they can do, you can see that a opportunistic defense wins games. That takes advantage and puts the offense in a great position, because we've got quarterbacks that are throwing for ridiculous amounts of yards, touchdowns, and that's because of the rule changes. So anyway, that's probably another episode in and of itself, but that was a great game.
It was.
Now, before we talk about the next one, let's talk about the other, unless you had another point about that.
Well, the other point I had was just, how Green Bay contained Aaron Donald very well. I do remember he had a chance to sack Aaron Rodgers, and that's when Aaron Rodgers threw it 34 yards right before the half to get them in scoring on a scoring drive. But they did a great job containing Aaron Donald. But that Devontae Smith, Jalen Ramsey, Devontae did what he said. He said, I'm going to make Jalen travel. And he did. Devontae did get a touchdown on him. But, man, yeah. Green Bay executed their game plan to perfection against that defense.
All right, so let's move on to Chiefs-Browns.
So Sunday's matchup, first game, right?
Yep, first game.
Chiefs-Browns. Well, obviously, I think for a lot of people, unless you're a Browns fan, I think most people had the Chiefs. The Browns played okay.
You had the Browns though, famously.
No, I had the Browns against the Steelers.
Oh, okay.
Which they did. They beat the Steelers, but I did not.
Yeah, that's true.
I was not picking no Browns over Pat Mahomes. That's not happening. But they played all right the first half, and then Chiefs got it turned on. But the scary thing right now that is concerning me is Pat Mahomes' health. With the turf toe, and then now obviously with the concussion, the NFL does not play with the concussion protocol. He has 7 days. I hope he passes all the tests. But we have to give a shout out to Andy Reid, man, for you to have the guts to call what he called with
big balls, man.
With Chad Henne coming in the game, that's balls. And excuse me, giving up to Chad Henne, man, for that 3rd and 14, and you put your body on the line, you ran it. Mm-hmm. That was gutsy too. So shout out to the Chiefs. Tyreek Hill did what Tyreek Hill things, but I'm gonna say this on air. If Travis Kelce is going on the pace he's going, I'm sorry to say, in my lifetime at least, Travis Kelce might go down as one of the best tight ends ever. This guy is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. No, like I get Gronk is good. He's done some crazy things. Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates. Don't get me wrong. I've seen them all play but this dude, Travis Kelce, is ridiculous.
Well, those offenses weren't as dangerous and did not have a signal caller like Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but
along with all of the rule changes, we talked about that earlier.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So he's the perfect ceiling breaker, knowing that even his background, he was going to play baseball and all that. So he's just a multi-generational talent. And some people, look at who was it? It was not Kelce. It was another tight end for the Eagles that played.
Zach Ertz?
Or not before Ertz.
Brian Selleck?
Yes, Selleck. Right? All those years because he had a high-flying attack. But who was there? What was the Andy Reid. Exactly, right?
But don't mistaken. Antonio Gates had some years when he had a high power offense too. Don't forget Antonio Gates had a time where it was him, Phillip Rivers, LT, and Chris Chambers.
But history was made to be broken.
You're right. So
and here we are with Pat.
And so even they didn't win big, but that Chargers offense, it was nothing to play with. I don't know if you remember, LT led the league in rushing and he even had the record.
Was that when Breeze was there?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, Breeze just got to New Orleans. That's Breeze early years in New Orleans.
Okay.
That's Phillip Rivers. That's when Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers was throwing for incredible yards. 4,000 yards, no problem. Back to back.
You have LT. Sure.
Yeah. So, but you're right. You're right. When you do have a high power offense like that with Pat Mahomes, it your job does become easier. But you still gotta give respect with dude, man. That Travis Kelce right now is the best tight end in the game.
You still got to catch it.
Yeah, but it's just more catch. He's blocking. His ability to move. His ability
yards after catch.
Yeah, yards after catches. He's the best safety net you can have in the league right now.
Facts. No arguments here. All right, let's move on. The last one. The two old grouchy men. We've got the Saints with Old Man Breeze and the Bucks with I told you I could do it all bad by myself, whatever that saying is, Tom Brady.
Ooh, what a game.
So is Bill Belichick a fluke?
We'll have to see. We'll have to see. It's still not confirmed yet until Brady wins that ring without him. But so far Brady has been backing up what he's been saying, with his playing. So the matchup of the old heads. And I hate to say it, I was slightly disappointed.
Yeah, I agree. No one likes to see a bunch of mistakes. No one. You want to see high flying. You want to see clean football. You don't want to see a bunch of tip balls and interceptions. That's what it was.
Absolutely. And I thought this game was going to come down to the last drive, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. But as much as credit we give him, and don't get me wrong, he's not my favorite, but I give him a lot of credit. I like him. But this is the third year in a row that the Saints has flopped in the playoffs. It came to the Vikings with that big catch with Stephon Diggs. Then it came last. No, I'm sorry. That was
2 years ago.
No, that was last year, and then 2 years ago, and
18,
then
19, and now
18,
we're
19,
in,
yeah, and then they lost to the Rams.
I'm sorry, 19, 20, and now we're in 2021 season. Yeah.
And then they lost to the Rams, and then now they lost to the Bucks. I know Drew Brees has to be pissed at this point.
Yeah.
3 years
especially because this is his last one.
Yeah, this is his last game. 3 years in a row, you was predicting to go to the Super Bowl, and you fell short. You fell short for the third year in a row. I mean, it sucks, especially you fell short. Your last game is on your home field. But I'm sorry, man. For you to go out like that, that's tough. That's tough. The Saints didn't play well. Drew Brees definitely did not have a great game at all. That's not a good way to end, your career. I mean, granted, of course, first ballot Hall of Fame.
Yeah, of course.
Broke a lot of records, had a great career, but I think it was just a sour taste for him for that to be his last game on his home field. And then, of course, he had came to Brady at that, so that made it even worse. So,
not much that you can say about this. What more can you say about Tom Brady? He shows you time and time again how great he is. He will go down as the greatest quarterback to ever have played this game. And I can say that now. He's not on the Patriots anymore, so I really don't have a bone to pick with him, man. He's the greatest. I mean, he's done it all. He has done it all. I don't know. I'm not an NFL historian. Dub, you go ahead and text me right after you hear this because you can tell me if he has broken records for how many rings he has, blah, blah, blah. But he has to be. I mean, it was Peyton for so long. It was Johnny Unitas. They were chasing the ghost of Johnny Unitas. And now, I feel like in many, many ways, he's just surpassed everyone. What more can you say? Tom Brady, man.
As much as I hate to say it, you're right.
Yep.
You're right. It's going to be hard.
You seen that Alonzo Mourning gif where he's like shaking his head like yeah, well, shit.
You got to eat that one, but you're right. At this point, what Brady's doing at 43 years old, which is still incredible.
Goodness gracious.
43 years old.
Dude is old.
Still competing for championships at a high level, and he's taking his Bucks team. They're one game away from the big game again.
Yeah, and speaking of that, we have the Chiefs versus the Bills, and we have the Bucks versus the Packers. Oh my goodness!
So who do you have for the AFC?
For the AFC, I think I like. I can't. If Pat Mahomes is back,
okay,
I have to do Pat Mahomes. I cannot go with Josh Allen. Too much inexperience for me, for the Bills to feel like they could have a shot. I know they're the young guns. I know they're hot. They're playing their best football right now. But if Pat Mahomes is healthy and he can give you anything, they're just still too dangerous. And they're playing their best ball right now, too.
What's your score prediction?
Oh, I ain't going that far.
Okay.
I have no idea. I just know it's going to be high.
So,
for sure.
I'm not predicting Pat Mahomes to be 100% healthy, obviously. I just need him to come back 70%.
Yeah.
If he comes out 70%, obviously, that's a no-brainer for me. I'm taking the Chiefs. However, it's not going to be easy. I'm going to go, my score prediction, I'm going to go 24-17.
Okay. Wow, that's pretty low scoring for these teams.
24-17. I don't think it's going to be a shootout. I don't think it's going to be high scoring. There's going to be, I think each team is going to have at least one turnover. Be honest with you.
Okay.
But it's 24-17 Chiefs. Chiefs advance to the Super Bowl. And then Stephon Diggs, I think he's going to do his thing. But they might put Tyrann Mathieu as a spy on him. Try to contain him a little bit.
Ooh, and that's going to be a great matchup.
Well, they're not going to match up because, Tyrann plays safety. But, he's going to be spying.
They're going to shadow him.
Yeah, they're going to shadow him, yeah. Make him travel, have him travel around. But Tyreek, I need a big play by Tyreek. Travis Kelce's going to come do what he does. But I would like to see the Chiefs establish the running game early. Try to keep the pressure off Mahomes early on in the game and preserve him.
Williams did a really good job filling in for Clyde Edwards-Hilaire. I think they didn't drop off at all. And, of course, you always have Tyreek Hill, who's your everything, man. He can play in running back. He can play in the slot. He even goes out wide. So, They have so many weapons. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they do. That's what
And
happens.
the number one weapon is their quarterback.
And that's what happens when you have a high octane offense like that. I mean, they've been one of the top offense for the past 3 years now in the NFL. So, when one goes down, you still have to worry about them because they have 3-4 other guys that can kill you.
Now, Bucks, Packers. I'm gonna be quiet and let you talk.
This is the matchup. I think, even though I wanted to see Saints, Packers in the NFC Championships, really I wanted to see, Seahawks, Packers, but that was not going to happen. But I really wanted to see Saints, Packers because I wanted to see Breeze versus Rodgers. But we got the matchup of arguably the two GOATs, even though Aaron Rodgers is the GOAT in my eyes. But that's another discussion for another day. Man,
break it down.
Game of the week next week. Get your popcorn ready because this is going to go as a showdown. I'm going Packers to take Brady out.
No, wait. Just kidding. I knew.
31-28.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers, 3 touchdowns. Breeze, 3 touchdowns. But it's going to come down to the fourth quarter. Somebody's defense is going to have to come up big. I think it's going to be the Packers. Hopefully they can put a hand on Brady.
Yeah.
And we all know once you get Brady to hesitate, that's all you need him to do. Sometimes you don't even need to sack him. Just touch him, put him on the ground. He does not
like to be touched.
Yeah, he don't like to be touched. Put him on the ground a few times. And I think the Packers is able to do that. They did that well with Jared Goff this weekend. But Devontae Smith, I hope he's able to,
Devontae Adams.
I'm sorry.
I was like, wait a minute.
I'm thinking about the future. Too many Devontaes in the league now that just studs. But Devontae Adams, I'm sorry. Devontae Adams, I'm predicting a touchdown. I think he'll have one. I think they're going to try to get him going early. But there's one person I forgot to mention who had a great week this week, and I hope he has a great week next week, is Aaron Jones, the running back for the Green Bay Packers.
Yep.
He really made Aaron Rodgers' job easy this week for the rush attack he did against the Rams.
And they need that again.
And they need that again. If they can definitely do that against the Bucks defense with JPP, they got a great chance of winning. Aaron Jones, if he gets for a buck plus, that opens up the passing game over the top. Aaron Rodgers to Devontae, and then we all know what happens after that. The rest is history. But I'm looking forward to this. We have not ever had a Rodgers-Brady showdown in the playoffs.
That's crazy. Well, not really. I mean, they were in the different
two different conferences. So, which arguably is the two best quarterbacks in the league. Even though they're much a little bit older, but this is just as exciting as Peyton versus Brady in an AFC Championships game. Years back. So I'm definitely looking forward to this. I'm going with my man, Mr. Double Check, the baddest man in the league, Aaron Rodgers, 31-28.
All right. Well, I am. Of course, we have to disagree sometimes, and I am going with the Bucks.
How much you want to put on that?
We'll talk about that off the air. Right. But we will do a little gentlemanly wager there because I should have known better and agreed with you with Ohio State mess. Although this is a stronger bet, but I shan't not go against Tom Brady. When Alabama wins, Eli, our guy, always talking about this. When Alabama wins, so does Tom Brady. At first, he used to say it was the Patriots. Now he realized it's just Tom Brady. So I'm not going against that greater wisdom. I'm going to go with the Bucks.
Well, Nick Saban used to be under Bill Belichick.
That's true.
So that's probably why. But no conspiracy theories there. But okay, that's a decent prediction.
All right. I'm not going into the numbers. I have no idea. I have no idea how to talk about how many touchdowns they score. I'm just going to go with who will win and who will lose. All right. So let's move into... I don't know if you want to talk about Drew Brees anymore. I think we talked about him enough.
Well, we have, but I don't think our listeners actually know what just happened. Mm-hmm. For those that don't know what happened or who do know, today was Drew Brees, or this weekend was Drew Brees' last game. Sad to say, I've been watching Drew Brees. I don't think a lot of people remember him in San Diego. I remember him, briefly, but what he's done for the New Orleans Saints has been great. Especially ever since Katrina, he's kept New Orleans relevant. Won the Super Bowl with them. So shout out to Drew Brees, and everything he's done with the New Orleans Saints. I know a lot of Falcons fans are happy because he's leaving, so he can stop beating on y'all. But I don't think the Saints are going to be the same. However, here's my prediction. Listen up. All Saints fans, all football heads.
Talk about it. I think I know where you're going with this.
If I am Sean Payton right now, and then I just saw what transpired this weekend against the Bucs and how Drew Brees played, I am making an immediate
phone call
on speed dial.
Yes, sir. To who?
To Houston, Texas.
Each time.
And I am calling for a man called Deshaun Watson.
Come on, preach to him.
And I'm telling them, hey guys, you can have whatever trainer, coach, salary, player, whatever you want. But you cannot touch these guys. You cannot touch Michael Thomas. Bruh. You cannot touch Alvin Kamara. You cannot touch Lattimore. But anybody else, up for grabs. And you bring Deshaun Watson to the Big Easy, I guarantee New Orleans will be back.
Yeah, of course. That'd be crazy not to field a call, man, and just see what would it take. Because one thing I know about Miami Heat basketball is that when there's a star that is disgruntled, that's when Pat Riley pounces and tries to get them off their hands. You don't want another Harden situation, by the way. We will be out. We'll tease it a little bit later, but we're going to talk about
bonus episode coming up.
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
Coming up in a few weeks. But anyway, you pounce when you see someone is disgruntled. I've heard rumors. I've had people openly discussing on my timeline whether Miami should think about maybe sending the third pick over there for him with Tua, maybe with something else packaged up, right? I'm just like, man, there ain't no way. Just go and get Devontae Smith. It's not that hard. But I think Tua's going to be fine. But, yes, if he goes to the Saints, if you'll remember, the last time they had a black quarterback, it went pretty well with them. No, they didn't win any big, huge games in the playoffs, but they were relevant for a long time under Aaron Brooks, who was like Mike Vick 2.0 back in the day, if y'all remember.
Yes.
So, maybe there's some nostalgia there. It is New Orleans. It's a black-ass city. Get you a black-ass quarterback from the black-ass state of Georgia.
And get you some beignets.
Right. It may work. It may work.
But if that all fails, Jalen Hurts, no hard feelings.
Nah.
But Philadelphia, if you want to make me a happy fan one more time, you made that call to H-Town.
They're not going to do that to Jalen.
Just like Brooklyn made that call to H-Town for Harden. And you bring that bad boy in Deshaun to Philly. And
to throw to who?
Look, we'll
we
work
got
on that.
Rager.
No.
That's it.
Here's a spoiler alert. Odell Beckham not coming to Cleveland next year after what just happened this year. Guarantee you. So we try to go get Odell off of Cleveland hands, pair him up with Deshaun and all the other young...
you talking about Deshaun Watson? I thought you meant Deshaun Jackson.
No. Deshaun Watson and the other young guys we got in Philly. And then all we got to do is worry about revamping that defense in the draft. We right back in it. It's not... Who we got to worry about? The Cowboys?
That's true. That is very true.
And who we got to worry about? The Giants?
It would be a shame, though, for Jalen Hurts, though. I truly like
I said,
Hurts.
I like him. Don't get me wrong. I do like him. But here's the thing. He just finished his rookie year. H-Town will be all for you, buddy.
Yeah.
You can go and do whatever you want in H-Town. Obviously, we know they give the bag, so you'll get paid down there. And you can try and error all you want down there. Because they're not looking for no Super Bowl right now, obviously.
Facts.
If you trade D-Hop, you're not looking for no Super Bowl. So, I know Jalen Hurts, hey, no love lost. I have nothing against him. But, hey, Deshaun Watson is available. You got to go.
What if what if one of these teams that have a high pick value having a guy that has already thrown a football and has shown success, especially after a great season like this? Let's say a Jacksonville, New York Jets swing a trade for the first, And
I am not trying to see Deshaun waste his career in Jacksonville.
Well, yeah, and the Jets as well. I don't even know any wide receivers at all that play for both those teams. But if they have some competent GMs and coaches, which they've shown to not have, but just in case, they say, hey, we want a guy who has proved himself. You can have this some maybe stud that comes out of college that hasn't done anything. So just something to keep our eyes out on.
So here's about 4 teams I would like Deshaun to go to. Los Angeles Rams.
Okay.
Chicago Bears.
Ooh, good one.
New Orleans Saints.
Okay.
Or Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay. I haven't thought about the Chicago Bears
if you go
with Allen Robinson.
That's the only way you keep Allen Robinson there. If you do not get a
Montgomery,
quarterback. Allen Robinson already said he'll bounce. He's going to bounce if they don't get a quarterback. And they're tired of Mitchell Trubisky.
Who would they trade? Anyway, that's a good conversation to have, though. I
So
don't know
those are my 4
trade.
predictions for Deshaun to go to. So Deshaun is out of Houston. I don't think he's going to be back there next year.
Damn, Houston.
Drew Brees is gone, and this might be Brady's last year also too. If he wins Super Bowl, we'll see.
So H-John trying to lose Harden and lose Deshaun Watson. Damn, 2021 is harsh.
It's harsh on you. So I mean, at least they still got that entertainment. But
anyway, on
that note, thanks for tuning in.
Let's wrap up with a teaser. Of course, we gotta hit you with this. In 2 weeks, not next week, but the week after, we are going to be talking about this Harden Houston Nets love triangle. What could have been for other teams? What was offered? Oh man, there's so many angles to talk about. We're going to talk about what this means for the league. Oh man, what LeBron had started and what we see for the future. So please do not miss that episode.
It's gonna be extra spicy, like a 10-piece from Popeyes.
Telling you,
you're gonna be spicy like pickles on cobweed.
Well, okay.
So please get ready in 2 weeks. Spoiler alert: we're gonna have a big Harden episode, but Harden and Brooklyn Nets in the league. What's gonna transpire? Tune in. Please tune in. Let us know what you guys want to hear on that episode too. So you can even leave your comments early.
Yep. Like pre-order.
You can go on the social media, Twitter, Instagram.
Blow us up.
Let us know what you guys want to touch base on the episode. But trust me, you do not want to miss it. You do not want to miss it in 2 weeks. But we really appreciate everybody's support. Please continue, subscribe, like, comment, and also tune in next week for our next episode.
All right, Cash Crew. Until next time.
All right. See you next week.